Ablution with Dust. Volume 1, Book 7, number 330. Narrated by Aisha, the wife of the Prophet. We set out with Allah's Apostle on one of his journeys till we reached Al-Baida, or Dartul Jaish. A necklace of mine was broken, and lost. Allah's Apostle stayed there to search for it, and so did the people along with him. There was no water at that place, so the people went to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and said, "Don't you see what Aisha has done? She has made Allah's Apostle and the people stay where there is no water and they have no water with them." Abu Bakr came while Allah's Apostle was sleeping with his head on my thigh. He said to me, "You have detained Allah's Apostle and the people where there is no water and they have no water with them." So he admonished me and said what Allah wished him to say and hit me on my flank with his hand. Nothing prevented me from moving, because of pain, but the position of Allah's Apostle on my thigh. Allah's Apostle got up when dawn broke and there was no water. So Allah revealed the divine verses of Tayammum. So they all performed Tayammum. Asad bin Hudair said, "O the family of Abu Bakr, this is not the first blessing of yours." Then the camel on which I was riding was caused to move from its place and the necklace was found beneath it. Volume 1, Book 7, number 331. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet said, "I have been given 5 things which were not given to anyone else before me. 1. Allah made me victorious by awe, by his frightening my enemies, for a distance of 1 month's journey. 2. The earth has been made for me, and for my followers, a place for praying and a thing to perform Tayammum. Therefore any one of my followers can pray wherever the time of a prayer is due. 3. The booty has been made halal, lawful, for me, yet it was not lawful for anyone else before me. 4. I have been given the right of intercession, on the day of resurrection. 5. Every prophet used to be sent to his nation only, but I have been sent to all mankind." Volume 1, Book 7, number 332. Narrated by Urwa's father. Aisha said, "I borrowed a necklace from Asma, and it was lost. So Allah's Apostle sent a man to search for it and he found it. Then the time of the prayer became due and there was no water. They prayed, without ablution, and informed Allah's Apostle about it, so the verse of Tayammum was revealed." Asad bin Hudair said to Aisha, "May Allah reward you. By Allah, whenever anything happened which you did not like, Allah brought good for you and for the Muslims in that. Al-Jurf and the time for the Asr prayer became due while he was at Marbad Anam, sheepfold. So he performed Tayammum, and prayed there and then entered Medina when the sun was still high, but he did not repeat that prayer." Volume 1, Book 7, number 333. Narrated by Abu Juhaym al-Ansari. The Prophet came from the direction of Bir Jamal. A man met him and greeted him, but he did not return back the greeting till he went to mud wall and smeared his hands and his face with its dust, performed Tayammum, and then returned back the greeting. Volume 1, Book 7, number 334. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Abza. A man came to Umar bin al-Khattab and said, "I became junub but no water was available." Umar bin Yazir said to Umar, "Do you remember that you and I became junub while both of us were together on a journey and you didn't pray, but I rolled myself on the ground and prayed?" I informed the Prophet about it and he said, "It would have been sufficient for you to do like this." The Prophet then stroked lightly the earth with his hands and then blew off the dust and passed his hands over his face and hands. Volume 1, Book 7, number 335. Narrated by Said bin Abdur Rahman bin Abza. On the authority of his father who said, Amar said so, the above statement. And Shubar stroked lightly the earth with his hands and brought them close to his mouth, blew off the dust, and passed them over his face and then the backs of his hands. Amar said, ablution, meaning tayammum here, is sufficient for a Muslim if water is not available. Volume 1, Book 7, number 336. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Abza, that while he was in the company of Umar, Amar said to Umar, "We were in a detachment and became junub, and I blew the dust off my hands, performed the rolling over the earth and prayed." Volume 1, Book 7, number 337. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Abza, Amar said to Umar, "I rolled myself in the dust and came to the Prophet, who said, 'Passing dusted hands over the face and the backs of the hands is sufficient for you.'" Volume 1, Book 7, number 338. Narrated by Amar, as above. Volume 1, Book 7, number 339. Narrated by Amar, the Prophet stroked the earth with his hands and then passed them over his face and the backs of his hands, while demonstrating tayammum.